Do I believe I sinned in that video where I got overly angry? No. No, I absolutely do not think that. I think that maybe in some sense, in the sense of being angry, Christians, you know how they are these days. See, the thing is, I'm not saying I didn't sin, but here's the thing. Here's the thing. What the sin is what matters. The sin was thinking that I could put out the sin was thinking that I could go up against a deeply ingrained lie in society. And that with enough emphasis on my anger that I was going to change people's mind. That was the sin. The idea that transmuting sexual energy, the idea that's a sin, is completely unfounded. You can't force. I've said this before, and I'm going to keep saying this. These people, they miss the reason they miss the mark is because they think that when it says not by might, right, but by the grace of God, they think what that means is you're a sinner, just keep on sinning and trusting God and He'll allow you to stop sin. I don't believe that's what's happening. The grace of God is just like the healing of God. It is your healing. It is your grace. It is your working through God. Absolutely. It's just that it's not. It's like, have you ever watched Transformers? And what's his name? Ultra Magnus, right? He tries to open the Matrix when he goes up against Galvatron and he gets his ass kicked. But then Rodimus Prime opens the Matrix and he becomes the next Prime. It's the same thing. It's not that you're just laying there and Jesus is doing all the work, or God's doing all the work. The grace of God is a state of a lot of people are not going to like this. It's a higher state. It's a state that is closer to our God potential. That's what the grace of God is. Now, when Christians pray, this higher part of themselves helps them. But it's not at all that it's not your doing, and that it's that there's some wizard up there and he's doing all the work and you're not doing any of it. Sexual transmutation is just that. It's the grace of God working through your higher will. It's not a matter of us being inherently evil. It's a matter of us not being in our proper place with our potential, with our higher self. I don't consider it good to go around saying everybody's a sinner. Maybe it's true, but it's also a sin to call yourself a sinner because you're a child of God. Your job, God doesn't really do miracles for you. You do miracles for God. And I have to calm myself. I have to there's plenty of Catholics that get just as angry as I do. There's plenty of Christians that get just as angry as I do about these kinds of things. And their method of improving things is really the same method I'm using, because there's only one method. Now, if you study occult, you know that different religions relate to that method in different ways, but you have to surrender, obviously, to a higher part of yourself, but also it's not so cut and dry, because there is still certain manual efforts that have to be done until you get there. And you got to learn how to control, I got to learn how to control myself. I believe by me saying that there's no war on masturbation, what I'm saying is that there is no war against something that is obviously comforting. I mean, if you think about it, it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. Why would there be a war on anything that comforts you? If there was a war on something that comforted you, everyone would be against it, right? I'm just saying. I'm the only one who's, me and a couple other guys, we're the only ones who are trying to overcome are trying to help people realize that there's power in overcoming these things, but it doesn't come from, if it's purely willpower, you're forcing yourself to do it. If it's grace, it's a gentle let going. You have to gently let go of something. And that's done through a part of God that lives in us, which is Christ living in us and whatnot. But I don't believe that the message of my video was a sin.